Hey guys, so Faith is back, and a few ladies are going to come in and try to talk some sense into Faith, bring her back to reality, so to speak. And the one lady is so nice. She spent hours with Faith the other day on live trying to help her get into like a group home in California. And you'll hear what happened with that. But yeah, the more and more I go down this rabbit hole and watch Faith, you can tell she she's not in reality, and it's very clear that Faith needs some help, some guidance, someone to handle her money for her, someone to basically talk some sense into her. And but but that's not an excuse for the lies and the taking people's money, and not using it for what she says. But let's watch.
Hi, Annie. I need help to figure out my life. I don't really want to do things. Yeah, you're right, Mandy. I have looked way better at home, but that doesn't mean it's the right spot for me. My parents don't want to help with anything. They just leave me for dead. Like they don't care. So I don't know. Yeah, I know life's hard. That's not the thing that I'm struggling with. Where am I gonna go? I want to stay there, but I can't do that if my parents don't want to help with anything. They don't want to help me with funds. They don't want to help me be happy. They don't want to help me with anything. They just want it their way or the highway, and that's not how it works. It's not how it works at all. Yes, Kim. No, they don't. No, they don't. It's very clear that they don't. I mean, I would love to, but we've tried, and every time we get in a room together, we are not nice to each other. I know, and I have 10 days to figure out my life and my next move. They don't want to help me with money. They don't want to help me get to a place where I can be happy and function. I have a job that I received and I got, and now I want to go there and do that job, and my parents don't care. I'm going home for a little bit to see the room and be in my own bed and sleep there. Money for what, though? What income do I have? Because if I can't get to that job, I don't have an income. Wildly, you think it's time to grow up, right? Then why don't you grow up? Why don't you do what you need to do instead of worrying about my life? Okay? I'm sick of it. You're just a bunch of keyboard warriors. You would never say it to my face, and then you also don't understand what it's like to be me and having a completely torn relationship with my family. I need help, and no one gets it. No one. Or no one gives a fuck either. No, SSDI is not income. It's $700. Who can live off that? Are you crazy?
Hey Faith, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm okay. I was just wondering, been listening to you for a while and off and on and how you want to have your independence and I understand that. I mean, I really do. Especially at your age, you know. But my only thing is there any way, I mean, do you do physical therapy to try to become
Yeah.
more independent? So because that's what it's going to take is you being able to be a more independent person
I
to
mean,
be able to get your own place because right now you require, pretty much 24-hour care and you really couldn't afford to have somebody come in and stay with you 24 hours a day. I mean,
the thing is, I
so
don't
is there
know.
physical therapy that you can do to try to become a little more independent for yourself or you can do more things for yourself?
Yeah, and I've been doing it in the nursing home, and it's
You are
been
doing the
great.
physical therapy?
It's been great, but also, I really think that like I can be independent if I do it right because I get 8 hours of care every single day, and when I move out to wherever I move out to, I'll get more. I need 12 hours of care. 12, not 24.
Okay, but
And
okay, so if you only need that, what are the things that you can do for yourself as far as like dressing, eating, bathing? Well, I mean, because
I
I
can
don't know
eat.
your
I
limitations.
can.
So,
I can eat. Um, I can make sure that I get food. And I pretty much know what to do once I'm in my chair. The only thing
are you able to get in and out of the chair
yeah,
to use the restroom or to get in the bed and out of the bed?
I need someone to move my foot plates, but yes, I can. I can
Move
get
your move your foot, one of your feet, just one foot, not the other.
no my foot plates, the things that my feet sit on,
Oh,
to
okay.
move them. But
But
I
like if you
can.
had a grabber or something like that, could you do the foot thing yourself?
They're metal and they're massive, so it wouldn't fit in the grabber. But I
Mhm.
can reach down and because I have to take them all the way off if I want to do that, and it's very difficult when you have a seatbelt on
Yeah.
to
I'm just
do
trying
that.
to figure out, what limitations and make you try to make you aware that the limitations is a problem. It's and yeah, money too. I draw disability, and I just draw a little over $900 a month. I live on my own in a low income apartment, and I have to survive on that. I have nobody to count on. I mean, it's doable, but as far as your biggest thing is going to have to be working on trying to make yourself more independent so people will see that, hey, she can try this on her own. But until you do that, that's why people are saying there's no way, because it is a little out of reach, I think. And, just
But
not trying to, be just, put you down or anything like that at all. I just hope that you'll work towards more physical therapy and show people that you can do more for yourself than you're doing, and that will prove to them a point. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I also think though that having a caregiver shouldn't be an issue because I get help from the state to have that.
I still don't know how that works. My mom, I had her the last 2 years of her life and took care of her and worked. And she, I could only get 4 hours a week for somebody to come in and be with
Yeah,
her.
I get 8.
Yeah,
So
of course that was 20, it was 21, 20 years ago too. But, just try to really work on your physical part, showing
yeah,
people that you can do things that they think that you can't do because you're going to have to learn if you want to be on your own and have your own place, you have to be able to do things. And if you can't do certain things, then, it's not really, you need to set a different goal because I don't want to see you struggling and saying you're going to move out. You want your own place when you in your mind or when in everybody else's mind, it's really physically and not not possible.
it's physically not good, but I wouldn't say that it's impossible because I've seen millions and millions of disabled people live in their own space with a
Oh
living
yeah, I've got
wheelchair.
one of my neighbors. He's got one leg amputated, and he lives on his own. He has a leg, but he won't wear it most of the time. He'd just rather be in the wheelchair, But he's limited to what he can do. But he can cook. He can, do what he needs to do. He doesn't have to have somebody there to help him. But would have to, and that's okay as long as your insurance would pay for it, But
Yeah.
just try to set, more goals that are a little more
I
realistic
just
for
I
now.
just know that if I didn't have such an issue with my family, that would be a lot more logical for me to do than wanting to escape and wanting to bolt and wanting
But
to.
that's where you need to prove the things you can do that they don't think you can physically. Because
I
once you
mean,
start
I
showing people
understand
that
that
you
I
can
need
physically,
help. I understand that I need help, and
well,
physically,
of course you
it's
do.
not.
Yeah.
It's not going. I mean, I can go to physical therapy and I can make myself stronger, but half the stuff that I struggle with, I can't do. Like
Yeah.
physically, I know my limit, and
Well, of course you do. Yeah.
like
But just try to push yourself on some things,
yeah,
brushing your hair, fixing yourself, trying to use the bathroom, anything that you can, that you can work on to get more independent. That's where I would start, and then maybe you can realize, okay, this is not going to be obtainable for me. So I need to move on to something different, and change your mindset because sure, you should be enjoying life, but please remember your parents really love you. They've given their whole lives to you, and they would never do anything to hurt you. They try to protect you. And I know it's hard for you to see that because y'all are together 24/7 and it makes it hard. But just please know in your heart they love you and they do what they think's best for you because I'm sure any parent does.
I love them, and I
I
want
know
them
you do.
to be. I want to be in a good relationship with them. I just cannot see myself living with them. I can't.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and
I have to love
you have a
them
hard
from a
time. You have a hard time hearing, having somebody tell you no, because it's probably been, you've been told that a lot of times. But I think it's basically because they know your limitations too, and that may be part of
yeah,
it.
but like there needs to be a point where you let someone go and you let them fall on your face and try. And if I don't do that, I'm gonna be miserable.
But what's the cost of that? What if you do that and it fails miserably, and then something happens to you and you get hurt, and then your parents, they're gonna blame themselves, because they
I'll,
let you
I'll
do
tell
it.
you what happens though. I'll tell you what happens. Either it's really really successful and I do really really well, or it fails like you said and it fails miserably, and then something happens and I figure it out from there. I'm not
Well,
asking for
I
their
know you're always saying I'm gonna figure it out from there. I'm gonna figure, but really just start trying to set little goals and maybe not such big ones, and accomplish those little goals first, and then move on to something else. Because right now, realistically, I think moving out on your own is
I don't
probably.
want to either. I don't want to, but I want more opportunity for myself.
I
I
understand
want
that.
to get I want to get this job that I worked really hard to get. I put in the work, I did the interview process, I did all of these things, and I really want to go and do it because I know I'm capable of doing it.
Where is the job? Is it where you're? I mean, where you're at, or you work from home, or what is it? A job? Is it a work from
Um
home job?
no. It is a I'm letting people know.
So you would have to go to a place that.
I would have to go to the warehouse. But the good thing is, from where I want to live, because this lady so graciously offered her property for me to stay and put put something on it so I can live there. Um,
That cost a lot of money, or I would have done that too.
yeah. Hello.
Well, I don't want to, I'm not trying to down you. I just want you to understand that, your parents, I think they really love you. I mean, I know they really love you and I know you love them, but just try to give them a little grace and try to give yourself grace and try to set realistic goals and just accomplish those little goals first and prove to people what you can do physically by yourself because that's what people are thinking. Your parents, especially, they're like, well, she can't do this, she can't do that, she can't do it on her own. Well, when you start showing them
Well,
things you can do on your own, it will help them see you can do it.
well, physically, you're right. I can't do a lot of things, like in terms of dressing and taking a shower. But once I'm in my chair, I'm a really independent person.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I can do that because I've done it and I've tried, and it's really good once I've been given the right tools and I find the right tools to do those things.
Right.
And
Well, I don't want to keep you. I just want to say that, just try to kind of set more realistic goals to start out and work on those to work your way up to what you really want and be able to prove to people this is what I can do. Okay, this is what I can't do. So where can we go from here? Because I understand you want independence. Anybody would at your age, and I hope you can find that someday, but just not at the expense of crushing your parents. Just try to be more patient. Okay.
okay.
All right,
Well,
hon. Thank
I
you.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you, honey. Have a good day.
Bye.
Hey, Faith.
Hey.
So I hear you said you applied for a job
So I got the job, and I'm
in
ready.
Waco,
No,
Cali.
Austin. Yeah.
Oh, in Austin.
hmm
Oh, sweet.
So I really, I'm really excited. I met a lady, on on what's Craigslist. Yeah, I met a lady on Craigslist that was selling property, and I explained my situation to her, and she was like, "Hey, I know that you can't pay 100 grand for this property, and I have a shit ton of land, and if you can figure out how to put something on it and figure out like how you can do that, you can stay with me." And the job itself is only 15 minutes from her place. So I'm
Faith,
wait.
can I ask a question?
what's up?
Without any judgment. My curiosity is, what about the plot of land that your parents have in a trust for you when they pass away?
They don't have land, they have the house, and they're not even giving it to me.
Faith, I have a copy of the deed. It's on the internet. Your parents signed a trust last year, leaving you a plot of land
They're
in a
giving it,
subdivision.
they're giving it to a lawyer, not me. It's in my
No,
name.
it says you are the
Ultimately to
grantee on it.
protect it for you.
It says that when your parents go, you are the grantee and it is granted to you when they pass, along with other things. I have a copy of it with your parents' signatures on it. It's
So what's
available on the internet.
yeah,
That's facts.
yeah,
That's
of
not
course.
BS.
I know.
So I'm just curious about that. So, like, and the other
I
thing
don't
I'm
know
curious, we
anything
had,
about that. I don't know anything about that. When you guys found out, that was the same time I did. They don't tell me these things. They don't
But wait, but
tell
no,
why
me.
did you just try to
they
lie about
probably
it?
just
Oh,
wanted you to know that it was, that you were obviously your parents care for you. So they just want to make sure you're cared for if something should happen to them. I was just thinking that maybe your parents had told you.
No, not at all. I found out when you guys did.
Okay.
so
Cuz
it is
I
true.
just
It is true. But you just lied about it.
How is it true? I said they're giving it to a lawyer. They're not giving it to me.
But
but it
they're giving it
says
to the lawyer to hold for you.
see, she doesn't even understand what they're saying to her. She says, "Oh yeah, I know." And then she says, then it makes them think, okay, well, she understands, and then turns around and says they're giving it to the lawyer, not giving it to me. She doesn't understand what is going on, and maybe there's a reason that her parents don't want her to know what exactly is going on until it's time for her to know.
It's
Yeah,
ultimately yours.
the document says that when both of your parents pass, you are the grantee and you get a plot of land and it says what lot it is and what
where it is on a subdivision, it says the name of the subdivision road.
So the lawyer that they give it to is just there to protect it, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yes.
so the lawyer, basically, the document is notarized. They went to their lawyer and said, we want to make sure that Faith has something when we pass. So then the lawyer protects it and holds it so that when they pass, the lawyer will come to you and say, your parents left you an estate. They left a deed for a property of land. And it says right now that it's in phase 1. So I don't know if they're trying to put a house on it or what, but it says that they have stipulations on there that says that you can put a house on it, you can rent it out, you can sell the land. There's all these stipulations that they've put on there in place for you. So you said that you found out when other people found out on the internet. So that means that obviously other people have stumbled upon this deed as well.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
why
know.
would you go and try and find another plot
Because
of land knowing that your parents already have you set up?
So this is how not in reality she is. She's saying that she met a woman, she found a woman on Craigslist, okay, that had a piece of property or whatever, selling it, whatever. Now this, from what I gathered, and I could have got this a little wrong, now the woman is graciously gonna let Faith have the property, but it's a piece of property. Faith has to put a dwelling on that property to live in. Now, her wheelchair she can't live in an RV. She can't live in a tiny home. She's saying she wants to build a tiny home on it. I don't believe that her wheelchair could get around in a tiny home. But let's play along. Bottom line is, where is all this money coming from? Her fucking bank account is negative constantly every month, every week she's negative. Why? Probably because these loans are auto paying out of her account. And she's never going to get in the she's always going to be negative. Because she's got several loans. This is the craziest thing I've ever even stumbled across. But once she gets a place, then she needs a caregiver. Then she needs transportation. She doesn't have money to buy a vehicle to transport herself around. This is so unbelievable, right? Instead of just making nice with her parents, living in their home, having them take care of her, saving her money. She's so addicted to gifting people. That's where all her money's going, is gifting people. She's gifting people and spending, but mainly she gave somebody a $400 lion last week. This is so crazy.
Not dead.
Pardon?
They're not dead. I need
Great. They're not dead yet.
I can't live with them. I can love them from afar, but in terms of my mental health and my sanity, I can't live with them in the same house because they don't want to do and want to put in the effort to do anything that I like to do because they're old. They have their own opinions of life and what they want to do. I mean, hell, they moved to Texas for a better life for themselves. They never gave me a choice. They don't care.
At the same time, though, Faith, you got to understand they're up there in age and they're wanting to have the best life for you, but they're also wanting to live their best life while they're still, here. And so I thought like your plan was to go to the nursing home for 30 days, get your room redone while you were there, go back with your parents. Is there no chance of, saying to your parents, hey, like, our relationship, we're like oil and water. We don't get along. Like we argue if we're in the same room too long. Can we go to counseling? Can we try and do something so that you can go back and live with them?
I'm open to that. What I'm not open to is when I tell them the one thing I'm requesting. It's not money. It's not going places. It's not any of those things. It's having a caregiver in their house so I can just break up the time and not have to see them 24/7. And that's
And
a really
I understand that. I understand that. I have a caregiver that comes in to my home 4 times a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and bed. And then in between, if I need care, I have my spouse and my mom that assist with that because my body rejected my hip replacements. So I don't need to have a caregiver here 24/7. But
Rainy.
I just don't understand if you're wanting to move to like California or Florida, if you're having your room redone and then you're saying you don't want to go back there.
I want to stay there. I really do. I just can't see myself staying there with just them caring for me.
If that's your plan, Faith, you have to tell this company that's
You have to tell
renovating
the
your room.
contractors
It's
that
the
they
only
shouldn't be
it's
redoing
only
the
the right
room.
thing to do. Respect works both ways. They can make you
If
look
I-
like shit.
But why? If I come home for holidays and stuff, I still need a room to stay in.
Yeah, it's not, but that's not what they're under the impression they're doing. They're making a room comfortable for you to be in living there.
Well, I want to do that.
Do you know how much bad publicity you could get from this? They thought that you were going to publicize them, and then you're going to get bad. You're not living there, Faith. I don't know why it's so hard to get. I mean,
I
and
think
they
that
likely
the-
know what's going on at
the-
this point because you say it all on the internet. They may not even do it
I
anymore.
think the
You might have
point
hung
is
yourself.
that the company probably made a contract with you thinking that because you stream so often, they're expecting you to be in this room showing off what they did
And I can't
every
do
day.
that when I go home.
Whether if and if you're not there every day and you're only going home for holidays, that's not the terms of the agreement or the contract, and you have to let them know.
He didn't sign an agreement. But
Okay. But you still, even if it's a
regardless,
verbal
it's the
agreement,
right
you
thing
should
to
still
do.
let them know.
You don't screw over people because you never know when you're going to need those same people.
But
Hey.
I'm not screwing them over.
Hi, Faith.
Hey,
All right, I'm jumping
Hey.
down.
hey, what's up?
Sorry I couldn't get back to you the other day. I was out doing some errands. Hey, girl, come on. Let's be serious.
Mhm.
It's time to stop. You're
Well-
spinning your wheelchair tires, and they're not going anywhere. Did I not try my hardest to get you in someplace out in California the other day?
Yeah, you did. And I'm not saying you didn't. And I appreciate you.
Okay. So listen up. You know why that didn't happen, correct?
Yeah.
Because of the care that you need. In order to place you into a home out here, they're going to need a home that is wheelchair accessible, has poles, has the big enough shower to get you into. And if they were to do that, the company said that it's more liability, more insurance, more money for workman's comp, and they would have to up their insurance, and they just couldn't take on that liability. So
That makes sense.
the way that I see it is this is a merry-go-round and it's a vicious cycle that you're in, and you've got to break loose of this. Like, literally, sweetheart, enough is enough. Your parents are there. Go the hell back home. Get out of that nursing home where your hair's brushed, your parents are taking care of you. Let your room get redone. And just keep your mouth quiet and stop arguing with your parents. Things will turn around, Faith. But the thing is you're being so hard-headed. You only want it your way.
Because I haven't had my way for 28 years.
Okay, but Faith, it's their house and you're their daughter and you're their caregiver.
But
I'm sorry.
I have. Do you think I have the right to choose who my caregiver is?
Not if it's under their house, sweetheart. Just like I
Exactly.
told you, I have been completely 100% honest with you. Would I let my son pick his caregiver that came into my home, my safe haven?
Yeah,
So
he
if I
doesn't
let
need to
this
do
house,
that. He can go.
if I let my son pick a caregiver to come into my home and I leave, how am I to feel safe that this person is not going to go into my room, not going to rob me, not go through my mail, whatever? Okay? That's not how it works, sweetheart. You can look at when you start backing down from your parents and you stop with the arguing and the demanding and the throwing the fits and stuff. I'm saying this all out of love. It's coming
I
from my
know.
heart, sweetheart.
I know.
You know that.
I know.
You will see things that change. Your parents will be more receptive to you. They'll get out more with you. They'll do things. But it's like a never ending battle. It's like tug of war. And you've got you on one side and your parents on the other who are elder. And this tug of war is going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
I can't
You
picture.
keep saying you can't, you can't, you can't. You know why you can't? Because you haven't tried, sweetheart. You
I've
haven't
tried
tried.
for 8
In
years.
your mind, no, in your mind, you think you've tried.
And they
But
have.
what we all see and what we all hear, you have not tried.
What basis is that off of?
The way that you speak to your parents, the way that they're treated, the way they're talked to you,
And you don't think that that's reciprocal?
you know what? I think look at it's reciprocated there. I'm going to tell you from a parent to a parent, the response you're getting is from what you're saying to them. I will
I know.
100% guarantee you. I do not think they come into your room and verbally attack you on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. Let me clarify some stuff. Okay? It doesn't start out like that. You're right. They don't come in my room guns blazing and be like, "Oh my god, this and this and this." But when we get into conversation about anything, they tend to have an opinion, which I understand. But what I don't understand is there's always some, how do I say this? Backhanded, snarky, you're incapable, you have depression, bipolar, whatever.
Okay,
Comment.
I understand that, but that's what we talked about not only on live chat here several times, Faith, but on the phone personally. And I told you that is when family therapy comes in, where there is a mediator who is a third party who does not know you, who does not your parents, and you both are going to hear how you can change things, and you're both going to hear things that you don't want to hear
Yeah,
about yourselves.
yeah,
But it has to start somewhere.
yeah. I just don't want to get into a room and they say their opinions and I say mine and it just doesn't get
But
any.
until you try, sweetheart, you're not gonna know.
I
Until
went
you
to
go back home and you guys commit to therapy.
I went to therapy with them before I left. I
And
went
like
with
I
him.
said, you have to find the right therapist, Faith.
I mean, he's a freaking pastor. I don't know. Like, he's a pastor with um a degree in psychology. If he can't do it, I don't know who can.
Faith, do you know how many counselors I've taken my kids to and I've pulled them right out? Just because he's a pastor doesn't mean anything.
You don't always find the right therapist the first try. Sometimes it takes more than one try.
Yeah. I guess it's just the fact that I just
I'll
like
tell you,
you.
you're stubborn. You're hard-headed and you're stubborn. You're a PETA.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know that. I
you
know
know
that.
that.
And
Yeah.
I think the issue that I'm having is that I truly do not believe that therapy can fix us because I've had
Okay,
therapy
well
for
hold
10
But
on.
years.
how do you know unless you try?
That tells me a lot about your process of thinking and how you want to handle things because you've already got your heels in the ground and you don't want to move forward. You want things just your way and only your way. And sweetheart, that is not how life happens. That is not how you get through life.
I
I've always
understand
told
that.
my kids, say the wrong thing out in public.
What the hell?
Oh. Like, Faith, I get it. I understand you want freedom. I understand, when I was your age, I wanted to go out with my friends. I wanted to be able to do what I wanted, when I wanted, without my parents saying anything. I wanted, I moved out when I was 18. So when I wanted to go out and, my friends would call and say, hey, want to go to the movies? Sure, let's go. I could drop whatever I was doing and go. No one could stop me. But when you're living at home, obviously you're under your parents' roof, and when you have disabilities, your parents look out for you. I get that.
First of all,
Faith, your moderator dropped me.
okay, I took her powers away.
Yeah, that was rude.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
didn't-
this isn't the second time I've been talking to you, so we've been talking for a long time.
I didn't.
I didn't.
I didn't either.
Okay, well, and back up. Honey, I'm just saying, if you've got your heels dug that far into the ground,
Yeah.
nothing's going to change. And you're going to end up staying in that nursing home probably for quite some time.
Yeah.
I'm sure that your parents want back Faith, their daughter, who they love, and they want to have fun. Do you know how much energy it takes, Faith, to be angry instead of happy? It's exhausting. It's mentally exhausting.
Yeah. And I don't want to be angry at them anymore. It's delivery, Lainey. It's nothing else. There's a way that people talk to me that I can respect them. You, Gothic, me, everyone in this chat, I'm always never rude until they push me to a point and they insult me for so long. But have I ever been rude to you?
No, you have never been rude to me.
Okay.
You've
Okay.
never been disrespectful and rude to me, but you also know that I won't take it.
It doesn't matter if you won't take it. If I really feel like being disrespectful, I will. It doesn't matter who the person is.
But where's that going to get you?
What do you mean? It's going to get me nowhere, but that is my choice. But the point is, the reason I'm respectful to you and everyone in these boxes is because it's about delivery. It's nothing else. If my parents spoke to me this way in the 28 years of my life, instead of being like, oh, you're incapable, let me throw it back in your face, then I would be a lot more receptive and more honest and more willing.
And this is the kind of stuff, sweetheart, that you can talk about in counseling. I mean, I came pretty hard at you when I first got on here, did I not?
No?
See, I think I did. Personally, I think I did. I had to hold myself back a little bit because I want to shake you. I want to shake you, some sense into you.
And you are. And you are. And I would never be rude in a million years. I would never be rude to you or anyone in these boxes or anyone in the chat because I'm not a rude person. I guarantee you, if someone came at me correctly in a box and knew how to speak to me, then I wouldn't have a problem. I can hear it all day. I can hear my fuck ups. I can hear my successes. I don't have to get angry. I don't have to do that.
Sweetheart, we all get angry. They're called emotions. We cry, we get angry, we have sympathy, we have empathy. All of that, those are all a form of emotion. And I told you this the other day when we were on the phone. You can say something mean without saying it mean. Okay? If it's coming from a loving place. But the thing is you and your parents are on such opposite sides of the fence right now, and it's somewhere at some point that changed. Everything is repairable, but you have to try. And I'll tell you, when you do try with something, there always has to be a bigger person in the situation. Always.
So I think my next scenario, because Honestly, Lainey, when I've been here, when I've been in this nursing home, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a lot less stressed because I don't speak to them.
I don't know if you're a lot less stressed, Faith. I think that that's what you're telling yourself, honestly.
I just know that I'm at peace and I'm able to hear myself and feel the feelings I feel and be able to feel
But
whatever.
sweetheart, I don't feel like you're being taken care of there at
Oh
all.
yeah, 100%.
You're not
100%.
you're not being taken care of. We had a very personal conversation last week on the phone,
Mhm.
and I asked you a lot of really personal questions that are not for a live chat. And when you get up in the morning, Faith, and your mom brushes your hair and puts your clothes on and washes your face and you're brushing your teeth and you've had a good breakfast, that sets the pace for the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just sets your day up.
And I want to go home and be taken care of and be the best in the best possible care I can be. What's up?
I have your supper, honey.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna set it right here, okay?
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
But like I want to come home and want nothing more than to be like, "Hi mom, hi dad, how are you?" I think the struggle is they don't they just want things their way. And I understand that, but again, delivery. For example, the whole subject of a payee. I would be more receptive if they didn't insert the you're not capable. You just suck. You are not a good you're not a good person. You can't handle money. Okay, then teach me. Then teach me.
Okay, and this is all the stuff that can be brought up in counseling. You know, if and when you do decide to go home, like I told you, we talked about cooking the other day. Does your mom like to cook?
Of course, she's literally the best cook in the world.
Okay, well, perfect. There's a positive right there. Remember, we were talking about 3 positive things a day. I call you every day and text you, and I'm going to give me 3 positive things a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a positive. You just said your mom is a great cook. So you know what? Go to your mom and go, Mom, you know what? You are just what you said to me. You are the best cook ever, and I love your food. I want to help you in the kitchen. Get me a little bit more independent, Mom, where I can come in the kitchen and I can chop some stuff up. I can stir the pot.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, you're in there, and that's one-on-one time that you're spending with your mom.
Yeah. You're right. It's just the scenario of the things and the delivery and how things are being said doesn't make me want to do those things. Makes me bitter instead of
Okay, but let me tell you, everything that's happened from today on is water under the bridge. Water under the bridge, and you can't live in the past if you want to move on with your future.
Faith, you could go home with a totally different mindset. A totally different mindset and go back home and start fresh with your parents and have a totally different attitude with them. And it seems like whatever attitude that they give you, you kind of push back towards them. So if you go back with a positive attitude, then they're going to give you a positive attitude back.
Can I tell you what I'm concerned about?
Sure.
That scenario that you were just mentioning lasts for about a week.
Okay. And there's nothing to do to try to extend it for longer. Like, try talking to them and say, I want to make this work. I don't like fighting with you guys. I love you very much. And just say, I want peace. I don't want to argue with you guys. And then that's where you can say, can we find a good therapist or can we just try to fix this?
Yeah.
Gothic is right, Faith. Pick a day of the week, midweek, where you say, okay, family meeting.
Yep.
And the three of you sit
Like
down.
when I
Yeah.
have a bad day and I have an attitude and I give that attitude to my personal support workers or even my fiance or my mom, they give it right back to me and it just sets the mood for the remainder of the day. And when they have to come in and deal with me, they're not in a good mood
They're
because
not
of
happy.
how it was. It just
Yeah.
sets the tone for the day. So if you go home with a better attitude and say, okay, look, before I went to the nursing home, we were not on good terms, things were not good. Can we fix this? How can we, make this so that this is a good experience for like for all of us, so that you guys have your time and you guys are not stressed. I have, I can be me, I can be, you know, I can have my freedom. You guys can help me with my care, and you guys don't have any arguments. Like
Yeah.
there's got to be a compromise you guys can come up with.
And that compromise, realistically, the only reason we fight is because the way they deliver things, and also, Lainey, I think I've told you this. My parents want me to get a payee, and I'd be willing to, and I'm more than willing to do that. The reason I push back on that idea is because genuinely, I feel like it always comes with the "you're incapable" comment. And I can't stand it. I can't someone cannot encourage me to do something and then tear me down at the same time. It's not gonna
Faith,
work.
I don't think they're tearing you down. I think it just came from past behaviors and choices that you made. Like I told you, I have conservatorship over my son, and financially where he lives, even relationships, because he was in a relationship for 7 years and didn't tell me that his girlfriend was beating him because he wanted to protect her. And so, literally, one day he took off his shirt to go in the pool, and there were black and blue marks all over his chest and his back. And I was like, oh my God, what happened to you? And at that point, he looked at me like he still didn't, because he thought he was in love. Got down to the case of, what happened. And guess what? I had to sit down and talk to him about love doesn't hurt. Love
Yeah.
doesn't put hands on each other. This is not love. Um, you
I
know,
just want to say I'm so sorry you had to
Yeah, I
experience that with
am.
your
Yeah.
son and had to see that on your son.
Yeah.
well, thanks, Gothic. I've experienced a lot with my son. Like I told you, Faith knows we adopted him when he was 5. He's got a closed head injury, so he's got an IQ 49, but he's very, very street smart, and that's what scares me. Faith, I had to move. I had to sell my house and move further away where he could not get on the bus and just go wherever he wanted, because I found him at 2 o'clock in the morning, beat up at a trolley station and robbed. So, unless you're a parent, you don't know the feeling of worrying about your children. It doesn't matter how old they are. Age is just a number. I'm 61. My mom is 82. I still need my mom. I talk to her every day.
Yeah. And I want to talk to her every day. And I would love to have the conversations, for example, I have with you. In all honesty, I want that from my own mother. And she
And
can't give
that's,
that to
and
me.
honey, that's where sitting down and having family meetings and putting your heart on the table and talking to her just like you're talking to me right now, that's where that mutual respect comes from.
Yeah.
And if they want you to have a payee, then let him be your payee.
They don't want it. They want some organization to do it. And then when I want to do something, I have to go ask and then go up to the office and ask for my money if I want to do something simple. And it's just like,
But Faith, can we
you're
be honest
better than
here?
that.
Can we be honest?
What's up?
Do you think that having a payee would be such a bad thing? Not judging or anything, but being on a fixed income and seeing your spending habits
It's not a
and
bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. The bad thing
so then
about
why
it,
what's the cons against it? If Okay, so we listing pros and cons. What are your cons against having a payee? Like
because
you don't like having to go request the money and explain what you want it for? Is that what it
yes,
is?
one. That's number one. Number two, my parents are not delivering it properly. They're not. They're not encouraging me to do it. They're just saying you need to because of X, Y, and Z, and if you don't, it's going to be a problem for not only us but for you.
I
And
think it's because your parents are looking out for you because your parents are technically in charge. They're your power of attorney. Technically, legally, they are responsible for you.
for medical things,
Yes, but legally, in the government's eyes, you are their child. So if you get into massive amounts of debt and you can't pay it, the next person they go to is next of kin. So that would be your parents, and then your parents would
they
have to
don't
pay
have
off your debt.
guardianship,
Pardon?
even if they don't have guardianship.
They're still your parents. They're still your next of kin. So if you run up debt, and even if you're of age, if you can't pay off that debt, they go to the next of kin or the next person that they can try and get money out of that is related to you. That's usually how it would work.
Like on October 30th, I've taken the steps, and on October 30th, I've gotten into what's it called? What's the right word? A debt resolution program. So I don't
Okay.
have to worry about it anymore, and I can just pay like $250 every single month and have it taken care of. And I want to do that.
That's a good thing because
I would love it to be a good thing, but
you don't want to be in all that debt you're in at your age. Trust me, I'm going to be 38 this month and I wouldn't want to be in a lot of debt that would affect my future. You still have so much ahead of you. And you don't want to have all that debt following you at such a young age that prevents you from being able to apply for a credit card for emergencies or anything like that. But realistically, Faith, you order DoorDash and you gift on TikTok and stuff like that. And yes, it's your money. You have a right to do what you got to do with it. But just the other day, you mentioned that you're behind on your phone bill several months. So you gotta kind of learn your priorities. So I think a payee might be beneficial for you because they'll teach you about your money and how to spend it wisely. And then if they think that you coming in and asking for money for something that is not something they see as a good thing to spend with, your money on, then they would talk to you about why they don't think it's a good thing. And then kind of make you realize and think about it. Because I think sometimes when you're put in a situation and you don't think about like, is this a good decision to spend that kind of money on it? And you just kind of act in the moment, dropping your money and spending it on sending, Jeffree Star gifts versus your phone bill. Your phone is your lifeline, Faith. TikTok is how your phone is your lifeline. TikTok and your phone. If you don't have your phone, you don't have any access to your friends and your world. Your phone bill is important, and you would think that's the number one thing you would pay. But being several months behind, that shows that you need to learn put your priorities in order and learn, okay, bills are a priority. And I understand you've lived with your parents your whole life. You've never lived on your own, but you have one bill. Okay. I've lived on my own and I live with my mom currently, and I still pay half the rent. I pay half renter's insurance. I still pitch in for internet. I pitch in for TV. I pay my own phone bill. I pay my fiance's phone bill. I still pitch in for groceries. I have a set amount that I give my mom each month being on a fixed income. And that is my first priority. As soon as I get paid, all my bills get paid first. And then I look at what I have left and I decide what I'm going to do and I put money away.
Hey, Faith,
So-
where are you at, honey? We can't see you. So to me, it's like you're not listening to Gothic.
I'm eating.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No worries. As long as she's listening, we just want to see what's best for you, Faith. We just want to see, you in a good place. And, hearing you talk about, California and Florida and all these different locations and things, the last thing we want is for you to get stranded somewhere. And I know you have your heart set on, California and Florida. Why not just try to return home to your parents, try and work things out, and then try and just see how that works out with your parents, and then maybe say, hey, can we plan a family vacation? Can we go to California for a week, or can we go to Florida for a week? Once your attitude with them changes, they may be likely to open up to new experiences and trying different things. But as of right now, it's their house, their rules, and they're stressed out, and they're just not wanting to let strangers in their house, and they're just set in their ways right now. So if you show them that you're willing to kind of, it's kind of give and take. So if you show them that you're willing to work with them and whatnot, maybe your parents will kind of work with you. And if you say, hey, can we take a trip, or can I go stay with, a friend? Can I go visit? Can I go travel to California for a week? They may say yes. You may be surprised. But
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
So, before I was in debt, before I had such trouble with money, before all of this happened, I'm still not understanding the whole process of I was happy and it still was a problem. Even when I was younger, it still was a problem when I wanted to go do something and I didn't have debt and I didn't have trouble with money and I wasn't negative. So I'm confused.
Well, Faith, as parents, we go through different parts with our children. So, when my kids were younger and they asked to go somewhere, there are dangerous places and they can get themselves in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So, as parents, we make that decision. We don't really think it's a good idea that you go, especially, you're in a wheelchair. So, it's really hard for you to defend yourself if there's issues or problems. Okay. Then we grow up, we all have a good time. We're all getting along, and then something happens. It's parenting is hard. There's no handbook, sweetheart. There's absolutely no handbook. I can tell you that what your parents are doing is completely out of love, whether you think it is or not. They
Parenting is a lot of trial and error. I can tell you that. My daughter will be 16 this month, and there's a lot of trial and error. You don't know. Like Lainey just said, there is no handbook. So maybe before, your parents were more likely to say no because you were younger, they were having to go with you, they were worried about your disability, things like that. But now that you're getting older, they might be more likely to say yes to you going out.
And I'm excited to go home and see my room and to be with my dog and to see them. I just don't want that joy to fade if they say something out of pocket.
Then just make sure that when you go home, just tell them. Say, I'm coming home with the mindset that I want to be positive. I want to have a good relationship with you. I want to start fresh. What can we do to ensure that we're in a good place and that we don't get off on the wrong foot right from the start? What can we do so that everything in the past, before, that this is a reset for us? Me going to the nursing home, this was a reset. What can we do that we start fresh starting today? And ask them what they're willing to compromise on to ensure that you guys can have that reset. And maybe you guys can discuss, some terms and, just a change of attitude, maybe a change of tone when you talk to each other. Something small like that, just kind of coming up with some, compromises or some boundaries or just something so that you guys don't get off on the wrong foot right from the start. So that you guys can kind of learn from this and just kind of use this, like I said, as a reset and just it doesn't go back to the way it was before the nursing home where you guys were arguing. And because I'm sure
Right.
your parents are less stressed since they've been having time to themselves and they can kind of do what they want and they've been able to relax. So last thing you want is to go home and everything just go,
Ruin it,
you
yeah.
know, right back up to 100 and bring that stress right back. So kind of going home with the mindset of saying, okay, how can we keep this peaceful? How can we keep this calm so that they can still feel relaxed but with you there?
Faith,
I have a question.
your parents need to be validated with their feelings and what they have to say just as much as you do. It's a two-way street. And I'll tell you, the only thing you have control over
Is me and how I react to things.
exactly. And if somebody says something to you rude, what kind of control do you have?
Not responding
How you respond to it.
or not responding.
That is your control. How you respond to that. I can sit down with you before you go home and we can make a list of little reminder notes of things that you can say differently or things that you can do.
I would love, Lainey, if you're willing to write with me
Absolutely.
a list of things that I want that make sense in an old person's brain.
Well, that wasn't nice.
What do you mean?
I have to agree, Faith. You don't need to refer to your parents as an old person or the, you know, say they have an old person's brain. They're not old. They're just elderly. They're getting up there. They're not, but their brain
When
is
I
not any
say
different.
old, I mean their mindset, the way of thinking.
But it's not, you make it sound like when you say an old person's brain, it makes it sound like you're trying to say like they have
No,
dementia or they have
no,
Alzheimer's or something.
they don't.
Your parents are
They feel
probably
like,
smart as a whip. I can
and
guarantee your
and
parents are
it sounds
very
like they're
smart.
very traditional parents.
Yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with that.
very much so.
But I think that writing a list of things that you want to, you know, bring to their attention and talk to them about and writing out a list of positive things and whatnot with Lainey, I think that would be very beneficial. And as Lainey said, you know, you just pointed out one positive thing about your mom, and I'm sure there's a lot more if you thought
There's
about other
plenty.
positive things, like things that she does that you love. But even saying, hey, mom, you know, I love when you cook this specific meal, or, you know, you're cooking it tonight. Can I be in the kitchen and help? You know, can you show me how you cook it? Like, I love the way you cook. Try
I
and
love
find something
making
you have in
banana
common
bread.
with your mom so you
I
guys have
love
something you
making
can bond
banana bread.
over.
Yeah,
Pardon?
and I usually make banana bread with them, and we have a good time, and it's it's
So
super
then try and
fun.
do more of that. Or why not, like, I don't know if your mom likes to do crafting or anything like that.
She
Try
does.
and suggest activities that it's not just you being on TikTok, but you're setting time for your family so you guys can kind of have a family night. Or even, you know, do a family night where you have a family meeting and then you guys do something together, like play a game or, you know,
Yeah,
watch a movie together.
I just
Take the
like
dog out. Take the dog out for a walk with your dad and get some fresh air.
yeah, I definitely
You know,
need that.
I mean, it's good for the dog, it's good for you, and walking is healthy.
Yeah,
Exactly. We just want what's best for you and for your parents. And we don't want to see anything,
happen.
you
Yeah,
know, anything bad happen with you getting stranded. And we want to see you have a positive relationship with your parents. And obviously, I'm sure you want your parents to have a relaxing, stress free time of being able to sit back and, you know, I don't know if they're retired, but if they
yeah,
are retired, they deserve to live their best life and sit back and enjoy themselves because of
and I'm
all the stuff they've done for their lives, like through their lives working and providing.
hmm I think my other question is like, is it? How do I word this? Is it wrong to feel like other cities have more opportunity for
No,
people.
I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that, but
No, there's definitely more cities around the states that have
from
more resources, Faith. That's an absolutely true statement. But unfortunately, you're not in those states.
No, I mean, just as simple as Austin. I don't know if you were here, but I told you I got a job there. And I was really excited because I worked very hard. I did the assessment, I did the resume, I did all those things, and I'm over the moon excited. And
Mm-hmm.
the, I just, even if I have to drive there, well, not drive, but like get a ride there an hour and come back.
Well,
is that something you could maybe talk to your dad and say, "Hey dad, I got this awesome opportunity while I was at the nursing home. I applied for a job and I got accepted, but unfortunately it's in Austin, but I really want some independence and I want to be able to go and work, and I don't want to rely on, an SSDI check every month. Is there anything that I can do so that I can get driven to work? Is there a way that we can arrange it? And maybe
What's
you can
that?
offer to pitch in towards gas money and maybe they'd be likely to drive you. Is that not something you could bring up to them?
Yeah. Hey, can you grab me a root beer, please? Thank you. Could you open it, possibly? So sorry, I had to drink that.
No
Um,
worries. But yeah, I
so
just think that maybe asking your parents to try to have some independence and pitch in. Like say, I know it's an hour drive each way. I really want to have this job and I'm so stoked that I got approved. And unfortunately, it is an hour away, but is there a way that if I pitch in for gas every week or, whenever I get paid, I pay for gas? Can we work out something where dad can drive me or your mom can drive you? And I'm sure that if you approach them with that and explain to them you want some independence, you want to be able to earn some extra money aside from,
and they pay
TikTok.
super well, and that's the thing is like they pay really ridiculously well, and
okay. Well, you also have to remember, Faith, that you're getting SSDI, so whatever you make, you can only make
four
so
days
much a
a
month.
week, 4 days a week for 4 hours isn't going to hurt my check. I don't.
Okay.
Maybe I'm
Okay.
wrong.
So per hour, it might be good, but you also have to think about it's. You said 4 days a week.
No, Tuesday, Thursday. Oh yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, so you have to think about the traffic that your parents are going to be going back and forth in. The hours that you're working, is your dad going to want to stay in town where he doesn't have to drive back? Because you're talking, that's 4 trips a day for your dad or your mom. And you're going to have to understand that, that might not be doable for them.
Yeah, I have to talk to them about that.
Exactly, exactly. And just how you're answering in your tone of voice right now is exactly how you should be speaking to your parents.
Yeah, and
Even if you don't like their answer.
trust me, I don't like some of your answers, but I'm not rude. Sometimes, like
Is
sometimes
there
we
no
have.
is there no chance of like requesting that you get a job transfer to Waco instead of Austin so you don't have to do the commute?
Well, the thing is, when I was in Waco, they couldn't. They had to reassign me, so they had to let me go. Um,
Okay.
in the Waco area, in the Waco building, and the Waco building can't accommodate me. So that's why I moved there. Or not moved, but applied. Plus, it made it a little easier to swallow when I figured out that it was close to that lady's property.
Well, you might
Being
want to check into
realistic.
some of your resources out there too in Wake of Faith. I know they have job programs for the disabled, and they will put them to work, and they contract with certain businesses like restaurants and stuff, even if it's you, taking trays or cleaning off or wiping tables down and, working your way up. I mean, it's something. But I think before the job, there's a lot of work inside the home with your relationship with your parents that needs to be done, and that would be a priority.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna call you later tonight. I'm gonna quiz you on everything I talked to you about. I hope you're hearing
Yes.
everything I'm
I'm
saying.
ready. I'm ready. But honestly, I'm gonna hop off. I'll be back in 30 minutes because I'm gonna call you if you're down. I have some things to ask you. Nothing crazy.
That's fine.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Okay.